All right, guys. Welcome to another episode of Inner Monolog. If I'm correct, this is season two, episode four. We have our usual suspects. We have Marcus. We have Jose. We have Julio. We have a special guest today with Andy Vences. How's it going, bro?
Hey, it's going good. It's going good.
Hey, thank you
Thanks,
for joining us. We
thanks
really
for having me
appreciate
on.
it.
Definitely an honor.
Appreciate it as well.
Yeah, so we're gonna go ahead and kick off, bro, by allowing if you allow us, we're gonna go ahead and ask you a couple questions, get to know you a
Yeah,
little
sure.
better. Tell us a little so that we can
Okay,
learn
sure.
a little bit about you. Hopefully, get you a couple more fans.
Okay,
So,
sounds good.
all right, bro. So I think Jose, you were gonna kick it off. Oh, sorry, no, my mistake. That was on me. So, Andy, tell us a little bit about you. You know, like what got you into boxing and what keeps motivating you every day to get up and keep doing it. Because not everybody wakes up and decides that they want to punch people in the face and take punches for a living.
Yeah, well, it's kind of a long story, but I started boxing when I was 14 years old. Um, r- right before I started boxing, I was in martial arts. My dad had put me in kung fu, but I was a regular teenager living with my parents, and he put me in kung fu. And what I didn't like about kung fu was I loved the physical part of the sport, martial arts, but I didn't like that we didn't get to compete and like go what was happening in middle school and high school was well, I was in boxing by the time I got in high school, but it was still happening. But I was getting in fights at school, and then pretty much
Ooh.
we would watch the boxing fights with the family at my dad's, in my aunt's house. Like here and there, would be Eric Morales versus Pacquiao. I remember that first fight that happened. I was at my grandma's house, and yeah, just one day coming out of martial arts, I told my dad like, hey, because I didn't know how it start, how you start it or what you do, but I told him like, hey, like, could I try boxing? And then I still remember we were there in the truck when he picked me up from martial arts, and he said, yeah, that's fine, but if I don't see improvement in a month, I'm gonna take you out because you don't play boxing. So yeah, he started seeing that I was all into it. I would even get down and cry about stuff when he wouldn't take me. So like he knew I was into it. Um, and I don't know. I think is when you enjoy doing something and it's like your passion, like you're motivated to do it. You're motivated to get up and wake up, and like you're right. Like not everybody is motivated to do that, but I think like that's my calling. Like boxing is like what I like to do. Like I get paid to fight, so like I think that's always what I want to do. When I was younger, I didn't know it was possible to get paid to fight, but I knew boxing was like actual sport. So I kind of started figuring this out as I got older and as I was in the sport. Um, but I never thought I was gonna get paid to do what I like. You know what I mean? Boxing was like as an amateur we didn't get paid, so I just enjoyed the sport and I was competing until I decided to turn pro. Even then it was kind of like I was getting these small checks, but it was nothing crazy until I started seeing the money difference once I got signed on to a promoter. Then I was like, oh, like then it started becoming like, man, like maybe I can make something out of this.
I hear you. I hear you. I know that you guys work out a lot. Like
Yeah, yeah,
you guys have to stay in the gym. But did you know that
right.
um, there's a study that's shown that when you have sex, you burn as many calories as running 8 miles.
Damn.
Yeah, I heard that. It's hard to believe that. But
Bro, it's crazy because I don't know who could run 8 miles in 30 seconds.
yeah, 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 yeah.
Bro.
No, yeah. I mean, I don't know. Sometimes it's kind of like I think it's personal preference when it comes to that because I honestly think you've trained 2 months. Let's just say you train 2 months for a fight. You train every day. Like, think about it. Like, if you're in the tip top shape of your life, how can doing something like that, like, get your legs going? Like, even if it is 8 miles, you should be good to go. Like, you've trained and sparred so many rounds, and like you're into. I think that's to be honest. I think that's a theory. I think what's true is it can be a mental distraction to where it weakens your mind, maybe. But as far as physically, like I don't see that happening. Like that's I don't know, but it's funny. Yeah,
I
That
got
was
you. I got
good.
you.
I could see the
Yeah.
mental part of that. I definitely could see the mental side of that. But
Yeah, and talking about mental, like your next fight's gonna be on Thriller. You know, that's gonna be a pretty big stage. I know Thriller basically did the Mike Tyson Roy Jones fight. They did the Jake Paul fight recently, and now they're doing the Teofimo fight. So, how do you feel
yeah.
fighting on Thriller and Teofimo's undercard, and like how was that process to actually get on the undercard?
Oh yeah, so that's the first. I feel privileged to be a part of such a historic card on Triller. You know, as it is, it's a pay-per-view event. Um, I've always wanted to be on a pay-per-view undercard, or even on a pay-per-view card. Since I was a kid, we used to see pay-per-view fights. So I think being on a pay-per-view card like this with such a big fight, it's a big thing. You know, it doesn't happen every day. It doesn't happen every year. It's pretty much once in a while you get on a card like that. Um, and that kind of happened. You know, I was in the gym, obviously sparring and training, but that came about in a very, very weird way. I'll share the story how that came about. But I was waiting for a fight. You know, my manager was. Um, I haven't fought since last year in July, but I've been in the gym every day, 5 6 days a week since. You know, I ended up getting a new trainer after my last fight, and I've been with him almost a year. So, anyways, I was getting kind of desperate. Not desperate, but I say impatient. I like to say impatient. I was getting very impatient that my manager, like, I didn't hear nothing about when I was fighting. Like I said, in July, it's almost going to be a year. So I was kind of like getting frustrated. I was still in the gym, like I said, 5 to 6 days a week. But I'll be honest to you guys, I was, and even my friends know this, my close friends, but I was ready to kind of, you, you know, I bought a new home. I moved in with my wife out here in this home, and pretty much I was ready to kind of like settle down and just like get a job and pretty much be your average Joe. You know, I was kind of like starting to look at like options of getting a better job, and you know, because I currently had a job, but you know, my dad and my wife and everybody was telling me to just like, how are you gonna walk away from something you started at 14 years old and you love to do? You're really gonna throw that all away just for like a higher paying job? And you know, it had me thinking every night, like, you know what, they're right. Like, I can't walk away.
That's
Like,
why
I gotta
Julio
see what
can't walk
happens.
away
You
from
know?
cheeseburgers.
He's not wrong.
Yeah. Well, anyways, so when that happened, I decided to just revoke. You know, I got. Don't get me wrong, I did get the opportunities to get like a $50 an hour job, and I turned it down.
Damn.
Something inside of me told me to just turn it down. That it wasn't worth it because it's just a higher paying job, but I was going to be stuck in a 9 to 5 situation, and that's it. Your dreams, you let your dreams go just because you wanted something better, right? So I turned it down, and then I was at work. This is where it gets crazy. So you know, I was still working my normal job and training, and then I go to work one day. I drive all the way out to San Jose. It's about an hour and 15 minutes from where I live. That's where I work at, right? So I go out there after training, and then right there when I got to work, they gave me some paperwork like, "Hey, Meryl, we can't give you the reasons why, but you're being let go." Um, and in that moment, I was like crying and kind of like, "Hey, like, dude, I just got a home. Like, I gotta pay stuff. Like, what the fuck? Like, I gotta pay this stuff." And they're like, "Hey, bro, we can't tell you the reasons why. I guess it was the boss's decision. After 5 years, he just wants to let you go." So I was like, "Damn."
Dude.
So yeah,
That's a
so I
shame,
walked
man.
to my car, and you know, don't get me wrong, I did cry a little, right? But in life, I've always learned like, what can you do? What's done is done. You gotta keep going forward. Like, I'm not gonna sit here and dwell and like crash my life over losing a job. Jobs are replaceable every day.
Yep.
So I was sitting in my car, and I swear to God, after 20 minutes, out of nowhere, my manager texts me that I'll be fighting on Triller. And at the time, it was June 5th. They obviously moved the date, but it was June 5th I was gonna fight on Triller for X amount of dollars, and this was my next fight, and I couldn't believe it. I was like, damn, like that's crazy how the universe works. Like one door closed on me,
And
and
the big
another
one
one
opened
opened.
up.
Yeah, and I'm about to make my dream come true winning this fight. So it's just like I decided to just go with what God presented itself, and let that chapter go and just focus on this and focus on what I've always wanted to become, which is a professional boxer. My whole professional boxing career, I've always held down a job, always held down a swing shift job till 2 in the morning. You know, getting 5 hours of sleep, waking up, going to do my road work. So, like that consistency, I guess that consistency and that dream, it's gonna come true. You know, it's
Hey, bro, I'm really happy for you because I watched your last fight and I could tell that like you're completely dedicated. You know, you definitely got wobbled there in that sixth round, but you held your own. I could see the commitment, the fire in your heart. Like I hope you do well, brother.
nah.
Sure,
Thank
that's
you.
what's
Nah, I
up, bro.
appreciate it. I appreciate it. You know, it just feels good now that I'm able to train and like rest properly. Something that I've never done like for any fight. I've never not had a job. You know, so it feels weird, but I'm getting used to it. I mean, this is man, this is a boxer. Hey, this guy's crazy.
It's all
Hold
good,
on,
brother.
one second.
Okay, bro.
Added an extra question there.
Yeah, he's good. My bad. But yeah, this is kind of something that I've always wanted to do, right? Like winning this fight is big for me because winning this fight, I'm gonna be able to be a professional boxer. Or after this fight, I, I might not get a job anymore. Like I might continue boxing. Like the doors are gonna open up for me after this. So winning this fight, I just have one objective in mind, and that's winning. I don't care how I win.
Well, you for
Whether
sure
I
have
win
more
by
of
an
us that are
inch,
gonna at least
a
gonna pay for it
mile.
to watch that shit.
Yep.
Yeah,
We're definitely
Nah,
watching.
thank you, man.
Definitely having a little party.
Nah, I
Like,
appreciate it.
definitely.
Appreciate it.
I
Like
got the
we're
wings.
yeah, I was gonna say we're big boxing fans, brother. Like to the point where when we watch a boxing fight, we'll text each other and try to call the round that the fight's gonna go to. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? And we all
Oh,
watched,
that's
took the
awesome.
time to watch your last fight, and I could tell, bro. Like you're one of those guys that has the it factor.
Yeah.
yeah. And one thing I like about
No,
you,
right.
you're definitely like one of those old school fighters that always wants a tough fight. Like, give me the best. And I know
Yep.
you on social media calling out champions, saying, "Hey, I'm available if you want to, test yourself." Which is,
Right.
you don't see that too often now because there's
Like,
always
bro, you've got that distinct champion warrior gene that most people do not have.
And you
And
got
we
that
can
thick
see that
Mexican
when you fight.
mustache, so we love that.
Better mustache than what I can grow. I still got the whole beard
uh,
going.
Would you
So.
quit making shit about you?
no. Well, the next question will actually make it about Julio a little bit. So,
Oh,
and
Oh boy.
your opponent is Jonah Carroll out of the UK. What are your thoughts on him as a fighter? And then does he have a better beard than Julio?
Oh my god.
I think
I got a better
he does
build than
have better
Julio.
beat.
I
Sorry,
just
Julio.
trimmed it.
Look, I'm over here. I'm Rick Ross in this piece.
But um, so John O'Carroll, I don't underestimate anybody. He has 2 losses, just like I do. He's hungry. He's motivated. I know he has a family. I know he has kids. Like, and I understand that. But I feel I come with same the same hunger and the same drive and motivation, if not maybe more. But the difference here that I feel is going to be the difference in the fight is my abilities and my skills in the ring. Now that I have a new trainer, I feel if they're going based off my last fight, if he's going based off any other fight I've had in my life or even in my career, like he's really being unprepared just because now with this new coach, I have so many abilities and so many skills. And I feel that's going to be the main difference here. I don't think it's going to be anything like I wanted it more. I just feel like the skill and my abilities that I have now and that I possess is really going to play a big difference in this fight. And I'm very excited to show not only why I'm fighting, but kind of like the boxer I've become in this past year. I'm a whole different fighter.
Yeah, and the funny thing about that whole judging how you're going to win based off your last fight, what people don't seem to understand is there's a lot that you take from each fight, right? There's a lot of experiences,
Correct.
a lot of things that you learned about yourself as well as your opponent in each fight. So while you're training for your next fight, you're working on whatever you thought was negative and whatever you think is positive, making sure you strengthen your weaknesses as well as increase all of your other strengths. So you can't go judging how someone's going to do based off of their last fight because they're a completely different fighter from that last fight.
Hmm.
And I know you're from the
Yeah,
States,
yeah.
brother.
Well,
Go ahead. No, go ahead, Andy.
no, no. Go ahead. Go ahead. My bad.
I was just gonna say, I know you're from the States, but are you Mexican?
Yeah, yeah. Mexican American. Both of my
For
parents are
sure.
Mexican.
So
Yep.
so you understand Spanish?
Sí, sí,
All right, bro.
entiendo.
So just keep this in mind next time you're training because I know this is the big fight for you. Mejor que llore en su casa que en la tuya.
Hmm.
Yep.
Got you, bro. Nah, thank you. Gracias, bro. Appreciate it. No, but it's just I've had a very similar style on my last, I would say, like my last 5 fights, and that's the difference. I know working on things, and you learn stuff from your fight, but I've just flipped a total 360 because I'm just doing everything different from throwing my punches and blocking punches now with my hands. I was so relying on my distance a lot, which I still am, but like now I have my hands to defend my face, and I've learned a lot of things like and applied a lot of things in sparring that I'm now seeing, how it works. And I'm no stranger to fighting a southpaw. I know Jono Carro's a southpaw, and I've been getting tip top southpaw sparring out here. We've been having to travel a little bit for it, but I've been getting some of the best work that's available for me. So I definitely will be more than prepared. I'm not even worried about it. And then fighting at 130 pounds is a weight that I feel very strong, very comfortable at, and I know it's gonna be a little, a little extra thing for him to do because he hasn't fought it that way for a little bit. But I know he'll make it easy. But it's just something else we'll both be on the same line when we step into that ring. It's gonna be an even playing field, and
So
I
are you
think
are you
my
are you asking for a 22-foot ring like Billy Joe?
nah, I don't care. Nah. It doesn't matter. At the end of the day, you got to fight. I fought in smaller rings before. I fought in big rings, but it never changed the way I was gonna fight the fight. So,
Nice.
Nice.
yeah.
I think Julio had a non boxing related question for you though.
I got two questions for him. One is boxing related, but I'll go with the one it's not.
I
So
clearly said non boxing related.
Andy, so I saw on your Instagram post that you recently bought a Tesla Model 3. And I don't know if you've noticed, but like it's been in the news a lot lately that Tesla's like autopilot system's been involved in a lot of accidents, and like that dude who got arrested
Shenanigans.
riding in the back seat of his Tesla Model 3, and he got it impounded and bought another one the next day. So my question to you is: one, have you used the autopilot feature correctly? And two, related to the Tesla, uh, how do you feel about it, and you think people should be taking these chances behind the wheel, or by getting away from behind the wheel when they turn on the autopilot?
Damn, that was a long ass question.
Yeah,
Sorry.
yeah. So the Tesla, my wife's actually the one who committed to getting it. But yeah, it is our car. I'm the one who drives it as well. But honestly, I would say it was one of the best decisions we made, especially living here in California, because the gas prices are gonna be like probably $5 by the end of the year.
Oh yeah.
It's just ridiculous, especially since we live away from the city and work near the city. Um, the amount of savings we're saving having the charger here at home is just, I don't know. It was the best decision we made. I feel like I feel like a lot of people are going to reap the benefits of having a hybrid and electrical vehicle right
Mhm.
now within the next 2 to 3 years. And hey, like I told my wife, she got the vehicle, and I'm gonna take care of her after the fight, and we're gonna clear that and pay off that vehicle because I've been actually using it a lot to go train. She goes to work out in the city, and I go train out in the city. So what I've been doing is carpooling with her, and pretty much she goes to work, and I go to work. So I go to the gym, do my thing, go running. pretty much have the whole team myself. And then when she's off work, we carpool together home off no gas. And right now that I lost my job, that's just coming in handy.
Yeah.
So
Gotcha.
so it's pretty dope. But hey, I can see the autopilot feature. I can see why it's dangerous. The reason why I say that is because the freeway should have a moderate amount of cars to use the autopilot comfortably, because you still have to like be very aware if the cars are gonna jam up in front of you. You got to get out of that autopilot mode to like activate the braking system. And if you're not paying attention, like I can see why you're gonna wreck. Like it's a very safe feature, but at the same time, it's a very dangerous feature if you're gonna abuse it and act like the car's gonna drive itself. Like for sure, you're gonna wreck it. But the car's immaculate as far as warning you before you're gonna change lanes, warning you before you're gonna hit a car. The car alerts you. Like I just feel the only way you're crashing is if you're not paying attention. Like if you're literally like just
In the
abusing
back
the
seat.
car,
Sitting in the back seat of the car.
yeah, like we have autopilot, but we don't have the full self-driving package. But like, no way we drive in the back seat and let it drive itself. I've seen
Did you
that
see that?
though.
Did you see that in the news with that dude?
Yeah, I saw it on the news. One of my friends sent it to me, and he said, "Hey, man, I thought this was you," and I was like,
Dude,
Nah,
that's messed
He's
up.
like, I work hard, but not that hard. I don't need to sleep in the back seat.
Yep.
"Yeah,
I do got another question for you. So as a boxer,
go ahead."
you've obviously attended like live fights and like been ringside watching fights, right?
Oh yeah, I love it. I'm addicted to
Uh,
it.
which do you have a favorite fight?
No, but I'm actually going to the Pacquiao Spence fight.
Oh, nice.
Nice.
Dope.
Yeah.
oh,
Nice. So, on a follow up, what do you think about this Logan Paul trying to get into fucking boxing?
Well, I can't look. Yeah, everyone always asks me that question. Like, as far as them as fighters, like obviously, like they're not brought up like a fighter. I don't really think they're real fighters. But as far as me being a professional fighter, I can't hate on it. It's because of them Trillers now being exposed to boxing,
Mm.
and if we're able to get a piece of that pie, it's like, well, I'll fight on a Triller card, whether he's
Hey,
on it or
bro,
not.
I
I'll get a
fucking
piece of
hate on it
that.
for you, bro. I'll fucking hate on it for you. I think it's extremely disrespectful to people that turn this into their craft. You know what I mean?
No, for sure. But if you can have a world champion on that card as well, and he's getting a piece of that profit, then why not? You know, that gave me an opportunity to fight on this card and
No,
to
I
even
hear
be
you.
on a Triller card. But
I hear
no,
you.
no,
I
no.
just
But
like, for
I feel
example,
like them as
at this
fighters,
point,
yeah,
at this
they're
point,
trash.
Mayweather wouldn't even fight you. You see what I'm saying? Like, Mayweather wouldn't
Well,
even
yeah.
fight you, and he's made it very clear that he's not gonna fight a legitimate boxer. So we all understand that this is a money grab for him.
Well, yeah. Well, it's just he has such a big following. Everyone's gonna. It's just thing with those guys is they have such a big following. They could pretty much do any sport they want. People are gonna watch it just because of their following, and
Yeah,
that's just
no,
what it
totally
is.
agree.
Yeah, look at
Yep.
Tim Tebow in fucking baseball.
well,
Hey,
I,
fuck Tim Tebow. How does Tim Tebow have a job in the NFL, but Colin Kaepernick doesn't? Get the fuck out of here.
I mean, I saw a meme the other day.
Kaepernick's apparently too controversial, I guess.
So guys, I saw a meme the other day. It was like a Pacquiao Mayweather meme, and it basically had like their last three opponents,
Hmm.
and Mayweather, it was all celebrity exhibitions, and then Pacquiao at 42 years old still stepping up, and that like Errol Spence fight is gonna be huge. Like he's gonna be an underdog, and if he pulls off that win, I don't think you can debate like his status. That's
Bro, if he pulls off that win, he's better than that fucking golfer that just won that PGA tour
At
at 50.
50.
for sure. So, Bulls, you have some questions, right?
All right, so first one is if and when you retire, and you could retire to any place in the on this planet, where would it be?
Probably somewhere where it's beachy and river looking, or I could wake up in the bed with my wife and have fucking breakfast served to me every morning. Just yeah, something something for sure tropical and beachy that I could wake up to and see a nice view and
Nice.
just be relaxed, be kind of away from people too, just kind of like in my own world, you know. Like pretty
Oh,
dope.
you hate people too? So do I.
Yeah, so do we, bro.
Same here.
No, not that I hate people, just that sometimes it's good to just get away from people, you know, from the city,
Yeah.
from the everyday life.
Nah,
Just
I
feels
mean,
good to relax. You know,
I get where you're coming from, bro. Like, the older you get, the more you realize that, like, humans are just fucking very self-centered and it's very irritating. So you don't get to be yourself and,
Oh,
like, actually enjoy what life is about.
so
Mhm.
Unless
speaking
you,
of that, when I got off of work yesterday, this old lady gave one of my coworkers shit because we didn't have umbrellas for the customers. Mind you,
how
I work
much,
at Costco.
how much shit
We
was
had
it?
it was a shit ton, bro. It was
Was
like
it like a
full.
doggy bag full of shit?
No, it was about like this big, weighed about good 5 pounds. You know, a lot of fucking nuts and it smelled like bananas and ass, but you know, it was still pretty heavy.
Probably had lemongrass in it.
A hint. A hint. A hint. So this is exactly what she said. She asked like, "You have umbrella? Do you have any umbrellas?" He was like, "No." It was raining outside. Obviously, he was like, "Sorry, man, we don't." I heard her say in a sly ass comment, "Oh, so you don't have umbrellas for your customers?" Bitch, this is Costco. This is a business.
What
I'm
business
sorry
does?
if you didn't plan for fucking inclement weather, but they said it was gonna rain all motherfucking week. So it's on your old ass because you didn't think about getting a goddamn umbrella.
You've been on this earth this goddamn long and you didn't think of an umbrella?
For
You know what the heck
real.
dark clouds mean?
And that dumbass saying, with age comes wisdom
Oh my
clearly went over that bitch's head.
Nope. There's a Mexican saying, el que sabe, sabe.
So
We
much growing
really got
up.
to put that on a t-shirt.
All right, and the second question I got, what was a favorite memory of yours from childhood?
Oh, it's a good one. Um,
I've been asking everybody.
my favorite memory in the childhood. What age are we talking about?
All right,
Childhood,
so
bro.
I'd say right around between the ages of 8 and 12.
God damn. Oh, okay. Okay,
Can't
cool. I
This
thought he was
is
gonna
this is
say
that.
eight and under. I
I'm
was like,
trying to give
holy
them a
fuck.
good
Like, you
range
can't
here,
remember
bro.
much.
Because
No,
unless you had sex for the first time at 12, that's probably the best
I'm just
memory
saying you could
anyone
have
had.
just said 12 or younger. You know what I mean? When you said eight, I honestly thought you were gonna go eight or younger. I was like, holy fuck, I don't even think I could remember that far back.
That's why I said 8.
Yeah, Jesus, I don't know. Probably shit. Well, that's this. I don't know. I don't know. We can keep it a funny story, or we could keep it a nasty one, but I don't know.
Go,
Whoa.
hey,
Probably,
lo que quieras, compa, lo que quieras.
Let's go ahead and roll the dice.
I don't know, man. Probably
You
had
can
to be
always
the
edit
first
stuff out later.
time it probably had to be the first time I freaking probably was talking to some girl in elementary school and went over her pad and gave her a hug and I realized what a fucking boner was, you know, and I really
Hey!
That's a good one, bro.
pretty much it
That's
was
a good
pretty
one.
much like it was pretty much off a backyard hug. We stood hugging for hella long and like it felt good to us, and then we ran away, and then we hugged again later. It was just
Yeah,
hella
I'm pretty sure when y'all
funny.
ran
That's
away,
funny,
you had to
bro.
think
That's a
to
good one.
yourself.
That's a good one, bro.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, it was like I remember I was in fifth grade and I kept in touch with a girl, but since she moved to another state, we lost contact. That was like the first time as a kid I figured out like I actually felt something for a girl. I was
Hey,
all it was funny.
that's a good one. That's a really good one.
I should add throw mine. When, so in the 90s, and I'm pretty sure a lot of y'all can pretty much relate to this shit, but right around the summertime, your parents used to kick you out of the house early in the morning because you were noisy as shit, and you had to
Nah, my
spend pretty
parents
much
wasn't though.
all day outside with your friends until the damn streetlights came on. Which means you had to spend 12 to 16 hours figuring out what the fuck you were gonna do for the whole damn day.
Ride bikes, go to the park, come back, have lunch, go
You
back to
kid.
bed.
Damn.
You kid.
Yeah.
So,
For real.
Andy, I got one final question. I mean, I think we can interview all day, but this is kind of my last question. And it's related to the Billy Joe Saunders Canelo fight. So,
Ooh, yeah.
as we know, Billy Joe Saunders did not come out and continue that fight, and there was a lot of debate whether he quit or whether he did the smart thing for his career by leaving. What are your takes on Billy Joe quitting? Because I think we had a pre-show. We felt like he quit.
Listen, at this point, we could call him Billy Ho.
So
No, I
that's
don't want to call him that.
that.
No, any fighter that gets in the ring, especially if you're gonna fight Canelo, like you got some balls, you know. But I just feel this is the bad thing that makes him look bad is that he was talking all this stuff about Canelo, that he was gonna have to be taken on a stretcher, that he wasn't gonna leave that fight without. He was just saying some crazy shit. So I think that's where he failed himself and the fans, where they're like, "Hey, like what happened? I thought you said this was gonna happen or that was gonna happen," and then it did look like, look, if this is the thing. It was. I feel like I tell one. I don't like the way he got out of that fight. Like what I feel the corner should have did was this should have said, "Hey, look, we're gonna let you go out the next round, and we're gonna stop the fight." So it makes it seem like it's our decision. Like it just made it him because it made it look like he didn't want to fight no more. I
Yeah.
know they were having these things like it was the corner or whatnot, but they should have. But the thing was, he didn't even attempt to see what he can do in that circumstance. He just said like, "Hey, fuck that, like I'm good." But that's what bothers me is the attempt to at least like try. Like even if you want to get out in the middle of the round, all good, but at least you tried. Like like I just feel like sometimes you'll be surprised what your body can do when your mind when your mind is with it.
Yeah,
What do you make? What do you make of the constant conspiracy theory that's floating around right now that he actually didn't have an orbital bone broken? The fact that he got in the flight 2 days later doesn't make sense because medics recommend that you wait at least 7 days before getting on an airplane
especially with
after
an
surgery
injury
Hey,
like
like
because
that.
that.
hold on. Hey, we're gonna touch on another thing. Me and my boxing friends were actually speaking this past weekend. So you guys did see the picture where his cheek was like separated from his eye. Shit
Mm-hmm.
looked crazy, right?
Right.
So my boy was saying that never in the history of boxing has anybody cracked somebody's like cheekbone and eye separation, like never,
It's a
right?
pretty
No,
So
difficult
bro.
then
bone to
he went
break.
back to saying, yeah, but we've seen broken orbitals, but we've never seen like separations from the cheek. Like that
Yeah.
shit just looked crazy, right?
The only time
It
I've
looked
ever seen
pretty
that
insane.
happen was when someone got hit in the face with a steel pipe or something.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, yeah. So what my friend was saying is kind of interesting how it comes from Canelo, how
He
he hit
suggested
so
it.
hard. Like he suggested that maybe these guys from Canelo's team specifically are like all on something. He goes because King Rai pulled out of his fight because of the timing of the drug wise. He needs to get off of it. He can't be on it.
Hmm.
And then he said, Oscar Valdez, yeah, he's knocked people out. But when has he ever knocked someone out like that? Like that shit looked insane too, right? Like we don't know. We're just kind of like assuming because of Canelo's whole clenbuterol that he got caught up with a while back, and we were
No,
just talking, but we were
I
just
definitely
saying
hear
that
you.
like,
No, I definitely hear that.
yeah,
I've heard that
why
before.
is it? Why is it that who knows about that guy that just fought on Showtime, Luis Neri? Neri.
Oh
He
yeah, I
fought
saw it.
Brandon Figueroa.
Yeah.
Remember?
Yeah.
Yep.
Hmm.
Okay, he was with Canelo's team. How did he look when he was with Canelo's team? He looked unstoppable. He looked super strong. As
Right.
soon as he left, look what happened. It was just a
Yeah.
trip. We're kind of just like it's kind of like I don't know. We're just like weird.
I definitely see that. From where I'm at, I definitely think that like um, just Billy Joe Saunders to me personally quit, especially after he called out the other guy
Yeah,
who
yeah,
actually
yeah,
had his orbital bone
yeah.
broken.
Daniel Dubois.
Yeah,
Yes.
Danny
Yeah.
DeBall. You know what I'm saying? And he asked for Danny DeBall's X-rays and all this other shit. And Now that he had the similar injury, at least according to him, we haven't seen anything.
Yeah, that's why if you're an active boxer, I
Right,
would say
right,
like,
right. No, definitely.
yeah, it might happen to you. And that his comments just did not age well at all.
I feel like it's instinct mentally. You know, I've been hurt in a fight, and I feel you don't really question whether you want to go or not. You don't even. It's not even a thought. I feel like it's only a thought if you really don't want it. But like even when I was hurt and they asked, "Are you okay? Are you okay?" I was like, "Hell yeah, I'm okay. Like I'm fucking fine. I'm good. Like let's go. Like I'm fine." But
Yeah, I
I
definitely
don't
saw that
know. Maybe
reaction from you in your
once he
last
got
fight,
hurt,
bro. When you got headbutted, I definitely saw that reaction from you when you got headbutted in your last fight.
I was just like, "Damn, it sucks." But like, let's keep going. But
Bro, you looked
yeah, I
at
think in
that.
the
You
moment,
looked at the doctor and you were like, "Bro, am I cool?" He's like, "Yeah, all right, let's go." Like,
Like this isn't ending
yeah,
yet, damn
yeah,
it.
yeah, it's an unbelievable experience. But for sure, it didn't look bad the way he got out of that fight and the way he talked, what he said, and he didn't live up to his hype. So I mean, that's on him, you know.
Yeah,
Yep.
that
Mhm.
was one of the
I hear
things
you.
I didn't like. All this shit you talk, and then you get rocked, and you like, I'm good.
All right,
All
Andy.
this
One
shit.
last question. One last question in interview. How relevant do you think Julio's question about your Model 3 was to this entire interview?
I
Oh.
loved it. It's probably the best question.
There, you got a future interviewing Julio.
Thank you for the sarcasm.
No, no, no. I'm serious. I really like. That's a good question because everybody always asks about the car, right? Like everybody, even my
Right.
friends, always ask me about it. Like if honestly, it's a car I really recommend like all of you to get, especially the gas prices get out of hand. Like fuck
All right.
that. Like all right,
I
no,
figured it'd
I
be
just
the
want to
interview
say thank you
portion of
guys.
that.
Appreciate it. And I'll probably head off just because my battery's almost dead. But thank you guys.
No, for
No,
sure.
no, bro.
Andy,
Thank you.
It was
Thank
great
Thanks
thank
for
you for
having
coming
you.
joining,
on.
bro.
Andy, can
We
you do
wish you
the
luck in the next fight.
where can we
All
find
right,
you?
appreciate it,
Yeah, brother. Where can we find you?
guys. Where can we find me on Instagram? It's El Tiburon Vences one. On Twitter, it's at Andy Vences. Facebook, Andy Vences. Appreciate it. Anytime. Always got to make time for the people in the media. So I really appreciate it, guys.
Thank you.
No,
Appreciate it.
thank you for coming on, brother.
Thanks for
Great having
coming
you.
on,
Appreciate it.
bro.
We look forward. We look forward to your next
Anytime,
fight.
anytime.
Yep.
Cuídate.
Cuídate.
For sure, me
Hasta luego.
too.
Te
I'm
cuidas.
excited. Bye. Adios.
Later.
Vaya con Dios.